your 300-hour fighter pilots. You know who I'm talking about? You know those fighter pilots that are kind of the gunslinger type? They've been on the job just long enough to maybe think to themselves, yeah, I know as much as my supervisor, even though he's been on the job 20 years and I've only been on it 2. But yeah, I can kind of maverick my way through this process or procedure. You know, we've referred to those types in our fighter squadron as the 300-hour fighter pilot. And they, believe it or not, were some of the most dangerous because in their mind, they think they know everything, but in reality is they don't know. You smell what I'm stepping in. So let me just talk a moment about a 300-hour fighter pilot and my experience as being one, and then how that issue that I had with myself, thinking now I was 8 feet tall and bulletproof on the job, what was done to fix it. I put together this 300-hour fighter pilot graph just to give you a quick visual illustration, okay? On the left side, those are the near misses, the close calls, the incidents from 0 up to high. Down at the bottom, that's the skill and experience level of the individual, okay? So take a look at this curve. It's down near 0. See, when you first start on a job or you're learning anything and you're new, the incident rate, the accident rate is very low because you're supervised, people are watching over you, they're coaching you, they're teaching you how to do it. Plus you're being very careful because you just don't know all the tips and tools and techniques yet. But see, as you get going along, see, you start to get more confident, more competent in your job, experience level grows. And that's kind of the way it is with us as a fighter pilot. And as you continue to go, if you're not careful, your competence and your confidence can start turning into cockiness. Your ego ability can start to exceed your capability. And that's when that curve, that incident accident curve, can start to grow. And you supervisors and leaders need to recognize that in those people who are susceptible to becoming cocky out on the job. And that's what happened to me one winter in 1988. My ego ability exceeded my capability and almost cost me my life. This particular day, we were going to go on a low altitude tactical navigation mission out to the bombing and gunnery range and practice with these missiles. I had about 300 hours at the time, had a pretty tall ego, and thought of myself as being basically 8 feet tall and bulletproof. So we're going to do this mission. I'm the number 4 man in this flight of 4. All right. So we're going down this valley floor out to the gunnery range. I'm about a mile in trail of my flight leader. And these Maverick missiles, the way they work is anytime you turn them on, anything they see, you can see it on your TV screen in the cockpit. And you kind of have to go heads down to lock up the target so the missile can go, yep, that's the target. You want me to get it? Yep, that's the one. Push the pickle button, off the missile goes. So I'm a mile in trail and my flight leader's out in front. And during this time of winter, the Iditarod sled dog race happened to be going on. You know, that's the race that goes from Anchorage to Nome every year. It's about 1,100 miles. So we're cooking down this valley floor. We're about 300 feet off of the ground, running about 300 knots. So we're going 1 mile every 12 seconds, 5 miles a minute. So we're cooking along. I'm a mile in trail with my flight leader. And he passes over a sled dog team. And he gets on the radio and he says, sled dog team ahead, offset left. So I know I'm going to be on this sled dog team in about 12 seconds. So I started doing me some thinking. The old gunslinger mentality, the old maverick attitude came out. I thought to myself, you know what I'll do is I'll offset left, like he said. I'll bring up the eyes of this missile. And then when I come up on that sled dog team, I'll lock them up and I'll get it on video. So this is the video that I shot. I roll in on them. I'm down in the valley. I get them locked up, but you know what? I'm not really paying attention to what's causing that shadow out in front of me because I'm heads down. I don't have the experience, see? I'm heads down. I'm target fixated. But you know, it's right in here that I realized, you know what? I better do something. I better look up. And lo and behold, there was a ridge line in front of me. And what saved my life that day? Pure luck and the flying ability of the A-10. So I cleared that ridge line, and it was an underwear changing event for me. And it also made me go from that gunslinger to Barney Fife in like 2.3 seconds. So had I hit that ridge line, you know what the news would have said? A-10 fighter pilot killed today while out on a routine training mission. It's those routine jobs that will bite you if you're not careful. So what are the takeaways? Who are your 300-hour fighter pilots, and what are you doing to watch over them and coach them and mentor and train them and supervise them? Because that's what I had when I came back with this videotape. A guy by the name of Colonel Hammond. He was a very meek and mild guy, but you didn't want to mistake that for weakness. He certainly was not weak that day when he gave me a talking to. So your qualifications is not a license to go out there and maverick and gunsling your way through a job. It is a license to learn. It is a license to grow. Learn from my mistakes. Learn from my experience, because you won't live long enough to make all these mistakes on your own. I love all of you. Be safe.